Hi everyone, Lucy here today. Here to talk to you about how to cope with Trump anxiety and more generally anxiety triggered by current political events. Back in October 2016, a study conducted by the American Psychological Association found that over half of all adults experience increased stress because of the presidential elections. Donald Trump then became president-elect, and the stress reached an all-time high, with call volumes to suicide hotlines increasing dramatically. Now, this stress and anxiety appears to be an ongoing, and many therapists like myself are witnessing an increase in the volume of clients experiencing distress due to current political events. Now, in early days, at the time of the elections, the group or demographics of those reporting political events as a significant source of stress were quite clear. But this now appears to have shifted. People in general have a feeling of uncertainty and lack of control. Their concerns are also more about the bigger picture, and it isn't just about President Donald Trump, but about the administration as a whole and all those that have been put in positions of power. So distress is currently experienced by many, regardless of the political party they identify with. In addition, there is also a group of people that are experiencing a type of loss or grief with the transition from President Obama to President Trump. Now, this transition grief has happened before, but on this occasion, it just appears to be much more pronounced. We live in a diverse society, and of course, many have different viewpoints. As such, they may not agree with each other on certain points and agree on others. But with these elections, people appear to feel more strongly about their beliefs. And when disagreements occur within families, this can create tension and at times hostile interactions. So these political events can have a bunch of ripple effects. And this, of course, can also be exacerbated by the level of media coverage. Now, don't get me wrong. I believe the media is doing a great job, and it is a necessity for them to report on and inform the public of what is happening. So here are a few tips to help you deal with the current political events. Tip number 1, keep your media consumption under control. Being informed about the current events is important, and in many ways it's very healthy. Stress can often be caused due to ignorance and misunderstanding. So increasing your knowledge about the workings of the American political system is beneficial. Having said that, there is, as you know, a lot happening at the moment. Just about every hour or every day something happens, and keeping up with the news can become obsessive. As such, it's a good idea to set limits on your daily media consumption, so to speak, and maybe set aside specific times to catch up with the news. This applies to televised news as well as social media kind of news such as Facebook and Twitter. Also, tip number 2, focus on what is within your control. This is a tip that applies to dealing with uncertainty in a general way, as well as dealing with change. It doesn't, however, imply that you have to passively accept what is happening. Your voice as an individual is important, and you have the choice to become involved on issues that are important to you. This can be beneficial as it addresses feelings of hopelessness as well that many are experiencing, and it can lead to some sense of empowerment and reduce anxiety. So this can be achieved, for example, by taking part in marches, which over the past couple of months have become commonplace all over the country. Or you might want to contact your local representative about issues that are important to you. This leads us to tip number 3, practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is about living in the moment. It's also very relevant to staying focused on what we can control. It isn't about events that occurred at election time or what may happen in the future, but what is happening now in the present moment. Now, focusing on future events can raise anxiety because they're mostly speculations. What if this happens? Or what if that happens? If we start thinking in this way, we create our own negative thoughts. And these can become overwhelming. It simply isn't necessary or healthy for that matter. So, while political events take place, there are plenty of events happening in your day-to-day life that are equally as important, if not more. So now is a good time to truly appreciate these and make the most of them. And finally, tip number 4, avoid hostile interactions and talk to those who you can relate to or can relate to you. So if you're in a relationship with someone whose views differ from yours, or if you're experiencing conflict with family members, then this is particularly relevant to you. Hostile interactions are damaging to your relationships. Sometimes it's better to agree to disagree and just respect each other's viewpoints rather than argue the point. Everybody is entitled to have their own opinion. Having said that, it's also okay to agree to avoid topics that lead to such hostile interactions. This is about being assertive, realizing that you have the choice to engage and respond or not. It's okay to say something like, look, I really don't feel like talking about this right now. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for interesting and constructive conversations with other people who don't necessarily hold the same viewpoint as I do. In fact, these can be very informative. But if the interaction is hostile, nothing constructive is going to come out of it. So in this case, if you feel the need to express your views or concerns, it's simply best to do so with those you can relate to, or relate with, or those who can relate to you. Now, having said all that, I would love to hear from you. Are you experiencing distress due to political events? What are your coping strategies? Will you do something different as a result of seeing this video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, please subscribe, like and share this video with your friends. Thanks again for watching and see you again soon.